What's going on, leaders and influencers? Noble here, and want to be a part of changing the world by changing your world by changing you and me. Okay, so check this out. I've got 6 points on the power of language. So I'm reading a book called Empowering Leadership by Michael Fletcher. Actually, I'm rereading it. And it led to a whole series of thoughts about the concept and the power and the importance of language, and how language reflects and reveals our core values and also our culture. So check this out. So 6 thoughts here about the importance of language. I've got my notes here I'm going to bust out. And here we go. So point number 1. What is the language of your family, your job, your business? So if, some of you guys are, we're a big homeschooling family. We love homeschooling. Some of you guys are, maybe you work at a job, maybe you own a business, you own a company, you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're in the military. That's my background as well. Maybe you're in the military. What is the language? So it's almost like you're doing a language audit or a language assessment of your family, your job, your business, your military unit, again, whatever spheres of influence that you currently operate in. That's number 1. Number 2, another way of doing a kind of the next level of doing this language assessment, language audit, almost like a language budget. Number 2 is that language, if you did a trend or a summary of maybe of a day or a week or a month of the language in those different areas, is it positive or negative? So this is number 2. Is it positive or negative? Is it growth-minded or is it fixed-minded? Is it growth-minded or fixed-minded? Part 3, 2C. Is it big? Is it big-minded or is it small-minded? Is it with the trends of the language in your home, in your job, in your business, in your military unit? Is it big? With big vision, or is it small-minded? 2D. Is it solution-oriented or complaining-oriented? Solution-oriented or problem-oriented? Is it laced with solutions and options, or is it fixed, blocked, complaining, that kind of thing? Is it 2E? Is it ownership language or is it blaming language? Is it ownership language or blaming language? So, and feel free to respond in the chat log here as you're going through to just answer. Boom, put in the chat log. Boom, okay, well, maybe I'm leaning towards more blaming, or maybe it's more ownership, that kind of thing. 2F, is it rich language or is it shallow? Is there some depth to the language, or is it just shallow? Is it 2 inches deep? Are you just talking about the weather and the baseball game and the stock market, or is there some depth to the language that you're using in those different areas? 2G, is it inspiring or is it depressing? Is it language that inspires other people, or is it language that is soul-sucking? Number 3, what are the factors that impact our language? Factors that impact our language. Give me a hashtag factors. 3A, association. So how much does your association impact the words that you use? How much does your language change between your home environment to your job environment, to your maybe business environment, to your church environment, whatever? How does your language change based on who you're around? So association is a factor. 3B, how about time of day or month, or is there a season that maybe impacts your language? 3C. How about events? Are there events or external circumstances that may impact your language? That's number 3. So what are the factors that impact your language? Number 4, so once you do this kind of language audit, language assessment, language evaluation, what does your language say about your culture and your core values? So, and here's the thing too, another great way to look at that perspective is, if you had, let's say I came to your house, I came to your job, I came to your business, your company, your military unit, what assessment would I make, would an outsider make on your culture based on the language that not only you use, but also the folks that you influence, whether it's peers, co-workers, family members, or subordinates. So that's something to think about. Number 5, what's one thing you can do, one action step you can do to change and improve and level up your language? Give me a hashtag level up, hashtag level up. So number 5, what is one thing, one action step you can do to change and improve your language, to elevate the language in your home, at your job, at your business, in your military unit, the organizations that you are a part of, your church, again, whatever those circles are that you roll in. So what's one action step? And go ahead and put it in the chat log. What's in the thread below in the comment section? What's an action step you can do? How can you take a practical step to impact, increase, elevate your language? Number 6, what does God's word say about the importance of language and words? So I will say this. There's a couple. Give me a hashtag James 3, hashtag James 3. There's a whole chapter in the Bible dedicated to a body part. Boom, the tongue. An entire chapter of the Bible is dedicated to a body part, and that is the tongue. And it talks about the tongue has the power of life and death. And so James 3 is a great spot to kind of see, what does God say about language and words. Also, I busted out Matthew chapter 12, verses 33 to 37. Matthew 12, 33 to 37 is a great section as well. And I'll just read a couple sections out of here. How can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the overabundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So that's something that's convicting too. So based on your language, what does your language say about your heart? What does your language say about your heart? The status of your heart. So really, based on God's word, language, our words, is a function of where our heart is at. That's huge. Okay, so give me hashtag heart. Hashtag heart there. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and the evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. But I say to you, check this out, for every idle word men speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment. Now, you know what that reminds me of? The old 300. Give me hashtag 300. You guys remember King Leonidas talking to the Persian messenger, and the Persian messenger is about to drop some skinny. What does King Leonidas say? First, he looks at his awesome wife, the queen, and she gives her the head nod. He looks back and said, be very careful the words you speak in Sparta. For every man, woman, Persian messenger, whatever, will be held accountable for every word that comes out of your mouth. All right, so that right there reminds me Matthew 12, that reminds me of King Leonidas to the Persian messenger. So 6 points there about the importance and power of language and how language impacts and reflects our culture. Again, quickly, number one, What is the language of those different areas that you are operating in? Number 2, doing a deeper language audit, evaluation, assessment. Number 3, what are the factors that impact our language? Number 4, what does your language say about your culture and core values? Number 5, and so looking at it from an outsider perspective too, if an outsider were to step into your world. Number 5, what's one action step you can do to improve your language and elevate, level up your language? And number 6, what does God's words say? What does God's word say about the importance of language? We absolutely love you guys, believe in you. Again, let's change the world by changing your world by changing you.